Alright guys, so the Bitcoin ETF was not approved. I told you guys that's what I thought would happen. I thought it was way too late to announce that approval. Um, so we were right. We had a lot of people get kind of weird with us yesterday when we told people we didn't think it was going to get approved, and yet here we are. Kind of the name of the game. People get emotional. So yeah, ETF did not get approved. They actually had a fake ETF approval. So they basically had the SEC said they're originally, you can kind of see Bitcoin here on the left side rip up and then fall back down yesterday. Basically, the SEC came out saying that somebody hacked into their account and did a fake approval post. Yeah, so again, the Bitcoin ETF was not approved. Today's the deadline. Alright, so here's a post by the Security and Exchange Commission. Alright, so here's an SEC post, an actual SEC post. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, so again, you can kind of see this is from the actual SEC Twitter account, right? So this post down here is from the actual SEC Twitter account. And again, I'll read it. Our X account was compromised and an unauthorized post was posted. The SEC has not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange traded products. SEC. So yeah, they have not approved it. Let me fix the quote. The quote's a little bit different, but yeah, this is the actual quote. Here's the full quote right here. The SEC Gov X account was compromised and an unauthorized post was made. The SEC has not approved the listing. It didn't make sense for it to get approved yesterday. Because, okay, so again, I'm going to tell you this. Alright, I'm going to tell you this. And if you look at the SEC's profile, you'll see they haven't posted anything about the Bitcoin ETF outside of this, right? Okay, so if they were going to approve the Bitcoin ETF, you know, a lot of people are acting like it was going to get approved on January 10th, right? Which is today. A lot of people were acting like it was going to get approved. The problem is that if it was going to get approved, like I said yesterday, my guess was that it was going to get approved before January 10th, because this is the deadline, is today. And so in that regard, like, think about it like this. If they're going to make that approval, then if they're going to announce that approval, they're not going to do it on the deadline date, most likely. Like, they're going to do it before it. And so if the deadline date approaches and they haven't made that approval, it's probably not going to get approved then by the deadline. My guess is they'll delay it. I think it'll be approved this year sometime, but I don't think it's going to be today. That's my guess. This is what I said yesterday before any of this other stuff. Before they even announced this is what I said yesterday too. And, looks like we were correct. Despite people getting weird. People got weird when I said this yesterday. Again, it's just confirmation bias. People want to believe that it's going to get approved. And so anybody speculating that it may not, they get kind of weird about. Well, I'm just reporting. Yeah, we got a nicely green day today. Looks like we had a green day yesterday as well. We ended up buying Apple at the lows. That looks good. Pretty nicely green today too. We don't really have anything today. Yeah, trash is already out. But I appreciate it. But yeah, we don't really have much today. I don't think we have anything. Let me check earnings. No earnings today. Tomorrow we got KB Homes. Nothing there. Alright, so yeah, Friday's the big day here today, guys. All right, team. Let me see, watch charts. All right, guys. All right, team. Any other discounts? Like, most of the stuff that I bought have gone up. You know, most of my trades over the last couple days have gone up. This includes adding to my Apple position. Got a really nice average there. Up nicely in the Apple position again. Kind of caught that little dip by, and now we're kind of riding that one back up. This includes RTX is doing well. We shorted Riot a little bit. Don't get mad, but I thought this ETF. Again, I put my money where my mouth is yesterday, and yeah. Markets are starting to bounce up. We got the E-mini moving. Okay. Yeah, we can look at the overall market here as well in the Q. Q slightly green today, all the way back up to 406s, which looks really nice. You know. All right, so the E-mini, we did get a move up. Okay, this isn't too bad. So yeah, so again, 406s. Hey, what's up, Alyssa Pawn? How long do you think they can keep this? I don't know. We'll see. It's an election year, so bearish traders, I don't know if we're going to have like the big bearish reaction that you might think this year. Maybe we do. Again, I don't know. I really don't know. All right, team. Sorry, getting some data here. Okay. Volume is my favorite indicator. Yeah, volume can be powerful. Yeah, I know, like, again, I think NVIDIA, AMD keep running. Yeah, NVIDIA up to almost 540s. It's what drugged the market up yesterday. Look at NVIDIA here. So NVIDIA going crazy. Remember, here's Bitcoin. Remember, look below. The SEC government account was hacked. An unauthorized post was made saying that the Bitcoin ETF was approved, and then the SEC put the post that they, put this post at the bottom saying the SEC has not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange traded products according to the SEC. So yeah, a fake approval. Somebody hacked it. Fake approval. Very interesting. I'm looking at this really interesting site. I gotta look at some Omegas here. See, I'm looking at watches, right? Like, I wonder if watch prices move in a technical analysis basis, right? So this is why I'm thinking of, like, acquiring more watches, right? Like, I recently bought a Rolex. And again, I'll show you why I bought it, right? So this is why I bought it. Like, I bought it like a few days ago. This is what I ended up getting right here. Let's see if it has individual watches. Yeah, it does. All right, this is what I ended up getting right here. And so, and you can see the chart itself. This is why I ended up buying it, is because look at it over the last few years. The last 2 years, we're down here. You know, and again, I'm very like I'm the same way in everything. Bitcoin just got a nice little pop up. I'm the same way in everything, which is like I'm looking for value wherever value can be found. If value is in watches, I'm gonna buy watches. If value is in gold, I'm gonna buy gold. If value is in the S&P 500, I'm gonna find, you know, trades on the S&P 500. And so this is why I've kind of loaded it up. The next one I'm thinking about is Omega. Omega, to put it into perspective, a little bit cheaper on average, depending on which way you get it. Let's find it. I know less about Omega for sure, but Omega's actually holding a little bit better than Rolexes are, right? So here's the 3-year chart. Yeah, just to put it into perspective, 5 years they were up about 15% on average, you know, even with this latest slump. I'll have to look at this. 6-month change here. I'm looking for the ones that are down the most in 6 months, but this one down a lot. This one down a lot. Hey, well, do your thing, people. Head and shoulders pattern. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. SEC password 1234. Yeah, I mean, again, they need to do better at guarding their passwords for sure. I've started to watch it. What are you watching, Pawn? Options. Oh, bullish divergences on Nasdaq and E-mini. Yeah, they have. All right, look at Bitcoin dip though. So this is the futures contract, so the price is going to be a little bit inflated relative to like the spot Bitcoin price, but still. Yeah, but that's because of volume, San Diego. So like if you think about it in that regard, that's simply because of more producers of it. You know, like over time it has gained more universal acceptance. It's certainly gained more legalization in that way. And so over time, the more that it's, people act like, this is what I've always said with specifically companies like Tilray, ACB, companies like that. People think full-on legalization is going to help these companies. I think it's going to open up competition and reduce the price. You know, I think the price is going to go down, competition is going to go up, and it might not be as good for some of these companies as people are speculating. But yeah, over time it makes sense, right? Like broad universal legalization in a lot of places, maybe not universal, but broad legalization, more producers, price is going to drop. It's supply and demand, you know. The lesser, yeah, that's just what it is. Elon said on X they were not using two-factor authentication. Yeah, we'll see. Bitcoin's still down here. I think the spot price is going to be close to 44 point something thousand. Nvidia, guys, crazy day. Yeah, I mean, you can kind of see what they said below is all we got. Nice. All right, so Bitcoin up a little bit again. Watch Nvidia here, team. This is what we're watching is Nvidia. We got about 300 people here, by the way. So yeah, Nvidia going absolutely nuts, man. Nvidia dragging the market up is what's going on here. That's kind of what's going on, is Nvidia dragging the markets up. All right, let's see what we got here. The problem with Omega watches is, like, I know how to tell like a Rolex fake. I don't know how to tell an Omega fake at all. So like, if I bought one, it would have to be from like a dealer, and I think in that regard, you're gonna lose money, but maybe not. Will SEC give a decision any day? I'm not sure. I don't know if they've already made their decision. I think they already announced their decision. Look at the bottom of the screen right here. Like, look at this. Like, look at the bottom of the screen right here. The SEC account was compromised in an unauthorized post. Read the very last sentence. The SEC has not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange traded products. End quote. SEC. All right. So this is the SEC talking here. They did not approve it. So far. I'm not saying they're not gonna approve it. I hope it gets approved today. I really do. But yeah, but gold actually doesn't appreciate. So people says I bought a real nice 18,000 or 18 karat gold covered Omega. That is the problem with Rolexes. They use stainless steel. Yeah, but okay. I'm going to explain to you a nuance of like wealthier people. And again, I'm not saying this is 100% true. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin just broke down under that level, under 45.1K in the futures contract. So the actual price is probably a little bit lesser here. All right, but yeah, so I'm going to give you a nuance of watches, people, weed the people. So one of the nuances is like when you look at like the really wealthy people in the world, people who buy Rolexes to a certain extent, right? Like, I'm not saying all wealthy people. A lot of wealthy people don't actually buy these fancy watches because they don't care that much about it. But some of them do. And one of the trends in buying these watches over time is that the super gold ones, like the ones that are really gold, are usually worth less over time. So they don't appreciate as much. They don't hold their value as well. The gold watches. The stainless steel watches hold their value much better. And the reason for that is because a lot of wealthy people do not want something as like, they don't want something as flashy as gold. You know, you might think Rolex people want flashy. They not necessarily. I think it's actually the opposite, where a lot of them want kind of understated type of stuff. You know, going back to the saying I always say, riches yell, wealth whispers. You know, and so I think some of them might be able to buy Rolexes, but they don't want gold Rolexes, if that makes sense. But again, it varies. I'm just saying they hold their value less over time is my point. Yeah, Nvidia rip it up, but Bitcoin just broke lows. I'm looking at the news. I'm trying to report everything we can here to see if we get some good stuff. But we're also day trading futures right now. We are in the E-mini with 3 contracts here in one of our combine accounts. All right, we're up 75. We're gonna go ahead and lock in a little bit here. Lock in a couple bucks. We'll go ahead and lock in the rest too. So we just scaled in, locked that in. We'll take it. And now we're nicely green on the day. We got a small green day to start the day. We'll probably let the rest ride, see what happens on it. Day trading the E-mini contract. You can see Bitcoin on the right side here. Chance of approval. Yeah, I don't think they're going to approve it today. Again, I really don't think they're going to approve it today. I think they're going to delay it. I think it'll get approved this year. I just don't think it's going to get approved right now. All right, so now we're actually down a little bit. Alright, so now we're dropping down. We're probably slightly down on the day now on this account. I don't mind letting this ride a little bit. That's a big pullback, though. Bitcoin popped up a little bit, too, but we're kind of flat. I'll try adding to this. Again, this is a combine account, so we can take a little bit more risk here. I did hear about that, San Diego. Approving the Q3, maybe. Yeah, we trade the funded account closer to the opening bell. We're just kind of playing around right now on one of our combine accounts because it's pretty early. It's like 7:30 in the morning. Market doesn't open up for a few hours. Vegas CES. I wonder if I should stream that. Is there a live stream here for it? Alright, so we're probably gonna have to cut this, and then now we're down about 50 bucks on the day here just to show you. We're down like 50 bucks. Here's our P&L. Exactly 50 bucks. Yeah, so there is a live stream. When does it start? 11 to 12 Central Standard Time. HD, Keynote, Omnicon. Part of me wants to stream this, but this is so long. You know? Inflation report comes out tomorrow. CPI drops tomorrow. Alright, so there's Bitcoin. Again, you can see the E-mini. Maybe I should trade the Nasdaq. Oh no. Shoot, dude. Oh, great, man. Oh no. Oof. Yeah, we got some bad news yesterday. Carol just texted me some really bad news. Man, that sucks. Hey, did you talk to your mom? Yeah, bad news. Carol's sick. Oh no. Yeah. I don't want to be too specific. Yesterday she tested positive, you know. And now she has a fever. 101.8. Okay, that's high. All right, guys. Yeah, we'll be all right. Here, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back, man. Bad news on my family's end. Yep. Bad news, man. Yeah, like yesterday she tested positive, but it was weird. Like she took 5 tests. 3 of them were negative, 2 of them were positive. And so we were kind of having some hope and optimism that like it wasn't going to be that. And now this morning she woke up with a fever. 102, basically 101.8. So it sucks, man. I just got to stay away from her. So I'm going to just hang out in my office and work since I can't really be in the room with her anyway. Well, it was 2 out of 5, but still, yeah. All right, so Bitcoin cracked lows again. The E-mini's still trying to move up, but yeah. Man. She's in her early 30s. She'll be all right. We've had it before. So we've had it before, and we were all fine from it. Yeah, man, I was hoping we'd get through the holiday season without it, but it doesn't look like we were that lucky. Yep. Yeah, back. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm going to take care of my kids. My kids are okay, though, right now. They're happy. They're ready for, you know. Yeah, man, this sucks. Well, just got to be optimistic, I guess. All right, so Bitcoin's ETF is still testing these low levels here. We'll see what it does. But, all right, so, I mean, I'm going to put out some better news. According to Bloomberg's Eric Balkunas, he says that as far as he knows, all systems are go for the spot Bitcoin ETFs, predicts formal approval to take place from 4 to 6 p.m. today, presumably Eastern Standard Time, with trading starting tomorrow on Thursday. Bitcoin is still gapping down here. It's at 4480s. So Bitcoin dropping heavily right now on all this. Are stocks diverging from Bitcoin correlation? Not really. They're mostly diverging from Nvidia's rise. So like Nvidia had a crazy good day today, and yesterday Nvidia flew. So like, again, here's Nvidia. So Nvidia has done crazy things. Nvidia all the way up to 536s, 540s at one point yesterday. So Nvidia is going up. That's dragging the market up while Bitcoin falls. But it's not. I don't think they're super correlated right now. Not always. Like Bitcoin and broad markets, most of the time are correlated in a positive correlation. Like most of the time they move with each other on a macro scale. Like we could look at stuff like CPI as an example of this, where CPI comes in favorably and Bitcoin and the S&P rip up and vice versa. So most of the time they have a positive correlation, but right now I don't know if there is a correlation. And mostly the reason the market is up is because of Nvidia. Right now Nvidia is up a lot, and that's dragging the rest of the market up, while Bitcoin falls on news that the ETF most likely won't get approved today. Is basically what it is. What news, Tommy? Yeah, again, we'll see what Nvidia continues to do. Watch Bitcoin. Here's Bitcoin, still sitting right around 45K. I don't know what it's gonna do though, but still sitting right around 45K. Yeah, it's pretty bad news for my family. I mean, obviously I'm hoping I don't get it. Obviously I'm hoping Carol's okay. But this sucks. This sucks, man. Scary, to be honest. Yeah. Nvidia spiked because they are partnering with some other countries to develop more AI functions. Yeah. Well, I mean, Nvidia has been on a tear for the last couple days on that news. As well as like them attempting to get some coverage overseas with some chips. Amazon announces buy with Prime integration with Salesforce. So CRM and Amazon doing a deal. If we look at CRM, this is probably going to help chips too. There's CRM, Amazon doing a deal. They're up big, pretty big. Mortgage rates dropped again this morning. Again, MBA 30-year mortgage rate came in a little bit higher than last time at 6.81%. 6.81%. Last time it came in at 6.7%. So a little bit higher than expected mortgage rates. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really going to talk about it. That's way too like political in nature for me, and you know, I'm just going to avoid that that entire conversation. Hey, what's up, Chester? Yeah, we'll see what crypto does. Again, Bitcoin's tapping lows again, though. So Bitcoin tapping lows again. All right, so we're at 536s for Nvidia, 536s. Natty gas and oil on a tear. Yeah, I'm looking at oil. Apple started to pull back a little bit, but still green on my position there. We ended up buying the dip. Oil ripping up. Look at oil bounce here, guys. So we can look at oil on the left. Again, Nvidia's been rising. So here's oil. Oil popping up. Oil futures at 73.20s right now, 73.20s. Bitcoin been downtrending essentially since 7 a.m. market time or so. Well, the ETF hasn't been technically rejected yet. Yeah. Yeah, so again, the ETF hasn't technically been approved or denied. Basically, again, if you don't know what happened, yesterday evening, SEC put out a post saying the Bitcoin ETF was approved. You can see Bitcoin during that period of time had this big parabolic rip, as you would think it would, you know. So again, if you want to get a little gauge on what Bitcoin might do once the ETF is approved, once the approval announcement happened, it started to rip. You know, it ripped up pretty big percentages short term. Then Gary G and the SEC put out a post saying that their account was hacked, that their X account, again, quoting the SEC here, they said, quote, the SEC X account was compromised and an unauthorized post was posted. The SEC has not approved the listing and trading of a spot Bitcoin exchange traded products, end quote. Basically, it was a false approval. It wasn't really approved. Somebody hacked the SEC's account and made that post. And then, of course, you see Bitcoin, you know, crash down afterwards. Now we're at 45K roughly or so, give or take. So that's where we're at now. Again, my guess is that it's going to get approved sometime this year, but not today necessarily, but who knows? Yeah, but I mean, fake Michael Saylor, weren't you the guy making fun of me when I said that I didn't think the ETF would get approved today? You know? I mean, I understand having a bias, but I think shaming anybody else that has the opposing bias just shows like emotion. Just means you're emotional. You know what I mean? People who are confident about their directions don't need to go around calling everybody else clowns or whatever, you know? Yeah, I mean, they certainly profited from it. Like, whoever made that post on the SEC account certainly profited from it. Yeah, again, like I said, I think it gets approved this year. I don't know if it gets approved today. Maybe it does. I really don't know. What I think, though, is that if they were going to approve it, they wouldn't wait until the deadline, like at the very end of the day before the deadline. I think if they were going to approve it, we would have heard the approval announcement days ago instead of right at the deadline, at the end of the day on the deadline date. I don't think that makes much sense. I think it makes a lot more sense that it's not going to get approved today and that they're probably going to push it back to later on this year. But I do think it'll get approved this year. That's my assumption. But again, I might be wrong. I think that makes logical sense, and I hope I'm wrong. Like, I want it to get approved today. And again, I've heard from some other sources that they think it's going to get approved between 4 and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, and that's when the announcement is going to be made. And so again, I really don't know what's going to happen, but yeah, so they said they wouldn't wait until the last minute. Exactly. Your title was misleading if it didn't get denied or approved. My title stated what happened, which is that the Bitcoin ETF was not approved yet. You know, like, it's not approved. Like, basically, the Bitcoin ETF hasn't happened yet. You know, like, again, I don't think it's going to get approved today, personally. And again, I think if it was going to get approved, they wouldn't wait until the very last minute. But we'll see. Will Riot Mirror be irrelevant? Well, they're a mining company, so if mining somehow goes out, then yeah. Yeah, but I think it'll get approved as well. I just don't know if it's going to get approved today. Somebody tell me how my title is misleading, bro. Like, the Bitcoin ETF did not get approved today, right? Like, it has not gotten approved yet. If it does get approved, I'll change the title. But so far, it has not gotten approved. You know, that's what the title says. And then you can even see the post. Look, you want to know why my title is not misleading? Read the last sentence of this right here. Again, read the last sentence of this right here. Right? The SEC has not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds, i.e. the Bitcoin ETF was not approved today. Guys, like, take your emotion out of it. You know, again, if you're emotional where you're lashing out, like, you know, take it out of it. You know, it just means emotion. Calm down. All right, I hope it gets approved. I really do. I genuinely hope it gets approved. I just don't know if it's going to. It's not misleading, exactly. No, I mean, I never say it denied. If it was that case, I would say the Bitcoin ETF was denied or the Bitcoin ETF was rejected. The Bitcoin ETF was not approved. You know, like, again, and you'll have to understand the context of my title. The context of my title is clarifying yesterday they had the announcement that the Bitcoin ETF was approved. The announcement happened yesterday. The SEC had to come out and clarify that the Bitcoin ETF was not approved. that the SEC has not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange traded products. End quote. The SEC said that. And so my title is verbatim what they're saying, almost verbatim. And so, yeah, I mean, again, I'm not saying it's not going to get approved. I hope it does. But as for now, it's not been approved, you know. Nope, not approved yet. Yeah. Yeah, we could do a poll. The poll is good right now. We can even make the poll. We can even make the poll, you think the... Yeah, I mean, again, I hope it's wrong. I hope the Bitcoin ETF gets approved. I really do. I just don't think again, the SEC had to clarify that it has not been approved. You know, the Bitcoin ETF has not been approved. Look, I'll even change the title. The Bitcoin ETF has not been approved. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome. Is it time to buy up Bitcoin right now? Yeah, so again, if you're just out joining the stream, what happened is that yesterday, the SEC made a post saying the Bitcoin ETF was approved. Very quickly, you can kind of see Bitcoin ripped up to 48.5K roughly. Very quickly afterwards, the SEC rescinds that post, deletes that post, and says that somebody hacked into their X account and made that post. And so the Bitcoin, and they had to clarify at the bottom, again, you can read the bottom, the SEC account was compromised and an unauthorized post was posted. The SEC has not approved the listing and trading of spot Bitcoin exchange traded products according to the SEC. So again, it has not been approved. I told you in 2010 buy Bitcoin. You didn't listen, beloved brother. Told me in 2010, bro? In 2010, I didn't even know what Bitcoin was, bro. My channel wasn't started until like 2017, dude. Look, I changed the title since we got people crying about it. I changed the title to the Bitcoin ETF has not been approved. You know? You're welcome, guys. Hi, John. I think the title was helpful this morning. Last I knew when I went to bed, it was approved. So upon reading your title, I did my own research. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, dude, 1985. He told me Bitcoin. You know, I should have bought Bitcoin in 1985. I should have done it, guys. I should have done it. Yeah, somebody saying it hurts my credibility. It's like, dude, I've never even seen any of you guys before. And so, come on. People acting like they're regular viewers, and now they're all of a sudden just hurt and disheartened. You know, hit them right here. You know, just so sad about how I've just changed. You know, I'm changing, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah. You would have lost the key to your Bitcoin 20 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, the account was compromised. And bounce it up though. And again, I hope it gets approved. I really do. Has Bitcoin found the bottom? Let me look at the poll numbers here, since this is like a hot topic today. 52% of people say no, it's not. Is the SEC press release the first place to find out the decision, or will the market action be a better indication? I think it depends. I think you could use either of them, Lachlan. I think that most of the time you could watch just the broad market action. If the ETF gets approved, it's going to do something like this. You know, it's going to do something big, most likely. And again, I hope it does. What I hear is 3 to 4. How dare you use the wrong words in your title? You shall be shamed. There you go. I think it'll be approved. It was sent out too early. They're going to approve it on Friday or something. I don't know, man. Again, I think if they were going to approve it, I don't think it's going to get approved today. And again, I hope it does, and I hope I'm wrong. And again, you can tell how many people are just super emotional about it because, again, in the end, one of the true telltale signs of emotion is if somebody gets mad at opposing predictions, right? So if I make a prediction that something's going to go up and somebody else makes a prediction about something going down, if I'm really emotional, I might get mad at the downward prediction, right? And so I see a lot of emotional people about this. I hope it goes up and I hope I'm wrong. And so I'm going to preface this with, again, I hope it goes up and I hope I'm wrong. But I think if they were going to approve the Bitcoin ETF today, I don't think they would wait until the very end of the day on the deadline day. I think if they were going to approve it, they would have announced it yesterday, the day before that, much earlier than the deadline day at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And so I don't think there's any reason for them to announce it this late, except for the fact that it might not get approved today. I think it'll probably get approved this year, but I don't know if it's going to get approved by the deadline today. That's my guess. I know that might not be what some people want to hear, and I understand that. But again, like I said, I hope I'm wrong here. I hope I'm wrong. Again, people get mad at the messenger sometimes, but I hope I'm wrong. I really do. If half of everyone bought the SPY 20 years ago, they'd be up 10x anyway. Yeah, but you must not understand Bitcoin though, brother. You know, again, you could have bought Bitcoin 10 years ago and be up, what's the percentage? Let's find it. It's going to be something freaking crazy. I'll tell you that. And so that's why, like, people who are like, yeah, just buy the SPY. I understand that. But again, 10 years ago, Bitcoin was at a price of $14. Okay, $14 10 years ago. On a percentage basis, right? $14 to 45,000 is 321,000%. 321,000% a decade ago. And so if you bought Bitcoin a decade ago, you'd be up 321,000%. You know, thus is the point, which is that Bitcoin is one of the best performing. People hate on Bitcoin. It drops, you know, it drops 10% or whatever, 20%, 30%. People get weird and mad about it. But like, Bitcoin is up so much that it's the gains over the last decade are ridiculous. They're crazy. They're ridiculous gains. They're ridiculous gains. So that's what people have to understand about it, is that the gains that Bitcoin has made are not comparable to the S&P 500. They're just not. Oil's still moving. Yeah. I sold 12,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas. Bad move, sir. Bad move, dude. I remember thinking Bitcoin was cheap. I remember thinking Bitcoin was too expensive at 10K. You know, I remember it dipped to 3.5K. I bought a little bit of it. Apple today. Yeah, Apple's nicely green on the last 24 hours, and extended hours, though, it's red. So Apple down a little bit. I ended up buying Apple, though, yesterday. My average price is about 183. I bought it yesterday, and now it ripped up, which is nice. So I don't know if I'm going to take profit or not. I'll probably hold on to some of it, at least. Well, no, I used a percentage calculator in that regard, Sam, and so it compensated for that. So yeah, so I did 14 to 45,000. It's 321.328 thousand. So it's $321,328.57.5. Is the actual number. I wish I was, Gaurav. I wish I was. I ended up selling and buying it back and stuff, but... Okay, is there a site or some info where you can see if the ETF is approved or not? I mean, you can follow the SEC on social media. You can also just watch Bitcoin, though. Like, again, the easiest way is just to watch Bitcoin. Here's the Bitcoin futures contract right here, right? If the ETF gets approved, you're going to see very sudden big price action like this. If it's rejected, you're going to see very sudden price action like that on the downside. Most likely. We don't know for sure, but most likely. And so... yeah, the chart's going to tell you faster than anything else, basically. And then we also have CES today, so we'll see what Nvidia does there. But yeah, guys, I got some bad news with my family today, man. I'm kind of nervous. So yeah, my wife's running a fever. She tested positive last night. Her fever's like 1. Scary spot. I'm just gonna hang out in my office. I would be in there with her, but I don't want to get sick, and so bad news for my side. We do an emergency stream if it happens. I don't know. We'll see. We got some stuff going on my end. John, do you think there's a high correlation between boisterous market prediction and degenerate gamblers? Depends on what markets. Yeah. Yeah, we have zinc. We've been taking a lot of zinc. All right, so again, we're gonna look at, there's oil. Here's the Q. Q is the best gauge of what the market is doing. You can look at like Tesla here. All of them are slightly green. Tesla had a pretty bad day yesterday. The Q had a green day though, so the Q had a nice day. Nvidia, one of the best days. Nvidia ripped up to 540 plus yesterday during market hours. Bitcoin is starting to bounce a little bit. It's starting to bounce. It's at 45.3 thousand, 45.3K. How was it, Bills, trading? How was it, bro? I had it a couple years ago. The last time I had it was a few years ago. And I remember it just felt like a flu. It just felt like the flu. All right. If you haven't already, guys, check out one of my sponsors. One of my sponsors is a company called Top Step. It's a funded account program in futures. Again, a great way to day trade if you don't want to take that much risk. Like, most day traders lose money. And so, again, you got some people that, like, hate on these things. But the reality of it is almost all day traders are going to lose their first couple accounts, right? This is a very obvious, a very well-known thing. Almost all day traders are going to lose their first few accounts. And so you can either put up thousands of dollars yourself trying to learn to day trade and probably lose it, or you could try a funded account program. You know, again, most day traders lose. And so it doesn't matter whether they go to a funded account program or not. Most day traders are going to lose. But Top Step's the most legit one in the world. They give you a demo. The base one's $49. It's a 50K demo. If you can make 3K in profit without losing 2K on that demo, 2 to 3 ratio, reasonable. They fund you 50K with a 90% split, and they pay out millions and fund thousands of traders every year, pay out millions in actual withdrawals. Been around for over a decade. And so it really is the best of both worlds, in my opinion, where you have limited risk. If you lose, you're out $50 basically for the combine on the base one at least. But if you're good enough to pass it, you get a 90% split anyway, you know, and so it's kind of the best of both worlds. And just taking the challenge builds your skill, in my opinion. Just taking the challenge teaches you how to trade and build your skill. But it's just a lot less risky to learn how to trade and to do it that way. And again, if you want to check it out, they are a sponsor of mine. I'm incredibly biased in their favor because they pay me money. But again, I'm always pretty honest and transparent about that. If you want to check out one of my sponsors, here's the link. Great way to help support your boy here in this channel. Had a bad headache. Gotcha. Yeah, I hope the ETF gets approved. I hope it does. I really do. People are acting like I'm some kind of big Bitcoin bear or something. Like, bro, we got a crypto channel here. Like, we cover a lot of crypto content here. I hope it gets approved. You know? Like, I genuinely want it to get approved. I don't want it to get rejected, that's for sure. Yeah, they got good coaching, good stuff there for sure. I'm using TOS. This is TOS you see on screen. Look at Bitcoin rise. I've heard the announcement is going to be from 3 to 4 p.m. today. Or from 4 to 6 p.m. It's actually Eastern Standard Time is when I heard. But we don't know. Again, we don't know. Tomorrow is CPI. Tomorrow is Consumer Price Index inflation. I think you're the best in the traditional market. Hey, thank you, brother. Yeah, like I said, kind of a stressful day on my end. And again, we ended up taking 5 tests. 3 of them were negative. The other 2 were positive. And so I took one was negative, so that's good so far. Just gonna try to stay away from her. Bitcoin's starting to rise, though, guys. Look at Bitcoin starting to rise. I gotta check Twitter. Check the SEC site. Yeah, still posting. Yeah, I'm checking everything. I don't see the approval news or anything like that. I think it's going to move up a lot more when the approval's actually announced as well. I'm sorry to hear that, Kathy. That's rough. Yeah, I had it a couple years ago. It was like a flu, you know. Also, so we do have a crypto show today. I originally was scheduling doing a crypto show. You know, I originally was scheduled doing a crypto show, but again, with the news of my wife, I don't know what we're gonna do today. I'm probably not gonna do one after this stream today so I could go take care of somebody. But here's the link to the crypto channel if you guys want to subscribe to that. We do have a crypto channel. What do you think of Palantir today? All right, Bitcoin ripped all the way up to 45.6K. I'm going to put an actual chart of Bitcoin up, I think. When will the action happen? I don't know. Yeah, so we got earnings season starting the day after tomorrow too. So again, just to put everything into perspective, guys, today we have the ETF approval news. Tomorrow we have CPI, Consumer Price Index, the biggest economic report we get monthly, drops tomorrow for the Consumer Price Index data. The day after that, on Friday, we have the other side of the CPI report. CPI is consumer inflation. PPI is producer or business inflation, seller inflation. That drops Friday, PPI does, as well as bank earnings. So we got bank earnings early in the morning. We've got PPI data later on in the morning on Friday. After today, we got a couple really busy days in markets. So yeah, we'll see what happens here, team. We'll see what we get. A lot of people speculating that around 4 to 6 p.m. today is when they're going to announce the approval. Yeah, there's not really any economic report data, I don't think, today. I don't think. Wednesday. At 10, we got wholesale inventories. We got some Fed members speaking tomorrow. Tomorrow's actually really busy. CPI inflation data tomorrow. It's 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, yes. And we're going to stream it live, so you won't have to go anywhere. So again, subscribe if you haven't yet, team. We appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Yeah, it's cold and rainy in Houston. Are you planning on waking up extra early to cover earnings? Probably. We're probably going to cover earnings on Friday. So JP Morgan drops at 7. United Health drops at 5:55 in the morning, which is a little bit too early for me. I don't know if we're going to be able to cover that. We'll probably get up early to cover the other ones, though. But again, we're mostly going to focus on PPI that day. Like, we'll cover the bank earnings as well, and that might get us some opening volatility heading into everything. But yeah. I'm going to buy a little bit more of Apple here. We're already nicely green in this position, and so we can. Whew, gosh, man. Nervous today, man. Genuinely nervous. All right, so we're going to do a poll here. Oof. All right, so we're gonna do a poll here. Will the approval get a? Or we already did a poll. How long we have left today? We got 15 hours today. We'll do a poll for 15 hours. Will the Bitcoin ETF get approved today? We just did one on Twitter. Again, answer in chat. Will it be approved today? My girlfriend owns United Health, up from 2018. Up a lot. Like John always says, investing in good, solid companies pays off long term. 100%, man. People get weird. Like, the biggest edge you'll ever have in markets long term is in diversifying into healthy blue chip companies that have good PE ratios, good earnings, that have been around for a long time. Legacy companies, specifically like S&P 500, Nasdaq companies. Buying those companies, diversifying into each sector, and then sitting on them for 5 to 10 years plus. You do that, you're almost guaranteed to make pretty good money from it. But for whatever reason, people get sold on being some pessimistic, short bias trader who calls the next big market crash. And again, that's just so difficult to do. Movies like The Big Short romanticize it, but it's so incredibly difficult to do it. Even Michael Burry, the guy behind The Big Short, one of the guys behind The Big Short, he's made so many crash predictions over the last 20 years he's been wildly wrong about. Like, he has been wrong out of literally over 10 different crash predictions. He's been right about one. But they romanticized the one, and then it kind of created a bunch of little Michael Burry clones out here trying to predict the next market crash. You see a lot of big-time YouTubers and influencers predicting the next big market crash, and they've just been wrong every time, but they just keep on double downing, and they've been doing it for years. I think predicting crashes gets more clicks, but still, it's something in which you have to understand. You don't want that to scare you out of long-term investing in the biggest edge you have, which is blue-chip healthy companies. Yeah, so it's so is FTMO mostly futures? Or mostly forex, I mean. Right, so it's mostly forex. Right. General feeling, I don't think the market... Hey, what's up, Ren? Yeah, but aren't they forex mostly? Yeah, so it's mostly forex. The problem is that they were offering CFDs, right, which are illegal in the US. Of course, they're not going to allow you to do it in the US. Like, you can look at this and see, like, of course they're not going to allow you to do this. And I see, like, they let you trade CFD stocks too. So, like, yeah, like, of course they're not going to let you do this in the US, unfortunately. You wish they did, but, like, of course they're not going to. Like futures trading is allowed in the United States. Like, futures trading is allowed in the US. It's legal in the US. Like, anybody could trade futures, like specifically regarding Top Step, like, people could trade futures. You could trade the E-mini, you could trade the Nasdaq 100, you could trade gold, There's a big difference between that and like FTMO, which is allowing all kind of stuff that you shouldn't be able to trade here. So I'm not surprised they got that regulation in trouble because, how can we see the latest news about the ETF live? You can leave, we're going to cover it as soon as it drops regarding the ETF approval here. You'll mostly be able to see the movement from the price action. You know, you'll mostly be able to see what happens from the price action. And again, we just don't have anything yet. All right, again, a senior Bitcoin analyst at Bloomberg says we will most likely see formal approval between, again, this is between between 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll put this up on screen. Again, I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. Everyone needs Bloomberg Terminal would save drama. Look, I like Bloomberg. Like, I really do. Like, I like Bloomberg. I genuinely do. But the problem is this, all right? Bloomberg Terminal freaking what? $20,000, $30,000 a year? I mean, listen, I know it's quick, but I don't know if I could ever, even if I had the money, the only way I'd ever pay that is if I was a hedge fund manager and I made billions. Then, you know, chump change, 20K, chump change. But even if I made $3, $4, $5 million a year, that's way too much for, you know, unless, yeah, I don't know. That just seems really high. All right, Bitcoin's still sitting here. We'll put the actual Bitcoin chart up if we can. Let me see. Like, we're looking at the Bitcoin futures ETF here. Bitcoin right around 45K. Here's Bitcoin USD. So here's Bitcoin on the left side, right around 45K. You can see Nvidia up there. We can also put the Q up here as well. Look at the Q. So again, the Q right at the previous closing price, right at that spot now. I have it, but I also trade Algo newsfeed, so it's a no-brainer. Hey, good luck, man. I mean, I could afford it, but like, I just would feel so bad buying it. Yeah, for sure. If I made 4 to 5 mil, I would probably do it. Will it go to 38K? I don't know. What would be the disadvantage of the ETF? I don't know. I mean, you'd have to ask the SEC there. Eastern Standard Time is when people are speculating, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, again, here's the Q. Q just went technically red on the day. I'm hearing 4 to 6 Eastern, but who knows when it's actually going to get approved. Looking at our poll numbers, 52% say yes, the SEC will reverse their stance and approve it today. 48% say no. Again, we're also going to throw this in sub-only mode if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We appreciate it. All right, there's Bitcoin rising. Not that much, though, but it is up. We just threw it in sub-only mode, so announce yourself, show us you're subscribed. Why is oil up today? Who knows? There should be some type of news for it. Yeah, I'm just hoping I don't get sick too, man. Again, my wife's sick right now. I just really don't want to get sick. I'm not going to get sick. I'm going to feel healthy and fine. I'm going to feel great. I'm going to continue to test negative. Optimism. We're going to positive thoughts. I'm going to put that out in the world. All right, so Kinder Morgan reported earnings in oil. All right, what's up, Justin? Oh, I have no idea about that, Sam. Genuinely no idea. All right, so again, here's the Q. Break it down. Q just went red on the day, so the Nasdaq 100 just went red on the day. You can see it on the right side. It's starting to flush down. Yeah, kind of weird price action on Bitcoin yesterday, of course, with the ETF approval and then denial, in hacking news. Definitely strange. For sure, definitely strange. The problem with most crypto is that, bots, bro. The problem with most altcoins is that, they're diluted because of sketchy bots that, people are trying to start a project and get rich, and so they spam everybody. They spam you with bots everywhere you go on social media, unfortunately. Oil just broke highs again, broke over 73.38, 73.39 or so. Did break highs. Bitcoin bouncing back up. It's at about 45,500, 45.2K. How is X's Twitter bot? Wave your hand if you are live. Yeah, I'm definitely not live right now. I'm just, I'm an AI bot. That's just successfully predicting that you were going to ask me that and then responding to it, So yeah, definitely, definitely not live right now. What do y'all think I'm doing right now? Y'all think I'm not live? Y'all think I'm just kind of hanging out, talking? Y'all think I'm not live right here? What do you think? This is some pre-recorded stream? Today is January 10th. It is currently 7:49 here my time in Texas, which means it's about 8:49 market time. The market opens up in 41 minutes. All right. 40 and a half minutes to be exact. Yeah, AI's getting good. I mean, it's definitely plausible, I guess. Yeah, I mean, look, we're obviously live right now. People are weird, I get not trusting anything on the internet, but come on now. This is just a heater. This is just a space heater. People talking about my fire back here. It's just a space heater, I think you're sleeping right now. Sleep stock trading. Honestly, some of those guys on Twitch make bank sleeping, bro. I need to start some sleeping streams. How good. I watch you every day. You know what you're talking about. And to be honest, I make quite a bit just following you, even though you say you aren't a guru. I'm not a guru. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about everything I say. Do not copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I always tell the same thing. I have 4 monitors. I have two 34-inch ultra wide stacked on top of each other. Y'all see the top one. This is This is a 34-inch ultra-wide monitor, and then the one underneath it is what I use to manage the stream, and then I've got a 27-inch and a 27-inch on my left. I might start upgrading to like a super extended monitor or whatever, but... You gonna say anything? No, man. I'm just gonna sit here in silence and sulk. Yeah, I mean, I don't even blame them, though, for the people who use cartoon overlays to stream as a girl. Like, bro, all a girl has to do in trading YouTube is say hey, and she'll get 10,000 subscribers by just saying hey. Like, you know. Yeah, like, that's all a girl has to do. Girls have it so easy on trading Twitter. They just got to say, hey, what's up? And then they'll grow crazy huge. You know, much harder for a guy to grow on YouTube trading-wise, in the stock market at least, than it is. I guess it's so rare for a female to do it that, you know. I know some good girl traders, though, some good female traders. I don't know can't remember what GPU I use. It's almost time for me to get another computer, though. CPI is tomorrow. Yeah, I'm getting better at jiu-jitsu, though. My jiu-jitsu skills are getting better. I've been able to guillotine a lot more people. Although some people are learning how to get out of it. But my jiu-jitsu skills have been getting better. I tapped one of my coaches the other day, you know. And he was kind of horsing around with me. But yeah. But he got called. He said afterwards, he's like, hey, bro, you got a good guillotine, you know. And then I told him, I was like, I feel bad. Tunnel vision. I have tunnel vision for guillotines. Like, when I'm rolling with somebody, I'm like, guillotine, guillotine, guillotine. I don't want to do... I'm okay at arm bars as well. But, you know, sometimes the arm bars will get stacked. And I'll just kind of end up in a worse position for them. I used to be able to... I can Americana and Kimura people really well. But a lot of my training partners have learned to defend it, where they reach up and they grab the arm and they pull it down, you know, is what most of them do now. So I can't really catch those anymore. I can leg lock people fairly well. I've got a pretty good ankle lock, but I'm always nervous I don't want to reap on people. And so usually I'm going for guillotines, rear naked chokes, you know. Cleavage pics next to charts. I don't even think it's that. I don't even think they have to be necessarily pretty. I mean, again, I'm not going to be specific, but like some of them are just not my cup of tea. You know, no offense to them, and they're still growing crazy big. So maybe they're just good traders. You know. You make reasonable predictions and ask us questions on what we think, like you said, overall macro channel of the economy. Hey, thank you, William. Yeah, that's what we try to do. People, like, when people try to criticize my channel, they try to act like I'm just purely like a day trading guru, right? Because it's easier to criticize me if that's it. Because, again, I'm not even claiming to be a good day trader. Mostly my channel is a broad economics channel. Like, we cover CPI, PPI, inflation news, Bitcoin news, crypto news, you know, stock market news, earnings, Jerome Powell press conferences, FOMC meetings. Like, we cover all that stuff. And I think people watch me, and I think we've been able to grow fast because we're a reliable place for it. Like, people know if something's going on, we'll cover it. You know, and I could probably get more like average daily viewers if I only targeted day trading futures, right? That's a big audience. But like, I day trade futures a lot, of course, but I also mostly follow the broad economy of markets. I even follow watch charts. Like, I've been looking at watches, like watch charts lately, you know. So I follow all markets, to be honest. Look, here's Rolex's chart value over the last year. You know, to me, it's time to buy. But again, that's just me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But to me, you know, Rolexes are down a lot, you know, over the last year. Might be time to buy. They're starting to consolidate a little bit down here too. The angle is getting a little bit better here. So, I mean, hey. I bought one last week. I might start buying some more. Just as kind of like, I'm not going to say an investment because it's incredibly risky. But just kind of a hedge I think, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, Mopar, that's basically like no gi. I like gi a lot better than no gi, even though no gi, I'm sure, is a little bit more realistic. Anybody that's ever rolled no gi understands how slippery it gets, right? So the only way you're really going to have easy subs in no gi is if it's in the first like minute, or if you're the first roll of the day in no gi, then you might have a little bit better chance of it. If it's a day where you're like the second or third or fourth roll of the day, y'all are going to be slipping and sliding around. Like, there's not really, it's very difficult to land submissions in those situations because there's so much, it's so slippery after the first few rolls. No gi is better because you have a little bit better leverage because the gi is there, and so it's less slippery regardless of how many rolls you've had that day. Anyways, yeah, the Dunning-Kruger effect in trading is very true. Like, and again, I see people all the time that come in here and they just act like they are just God's gift to trading. They just act like they are just the king. And again, most of the time you realize, and again, I'm going to tell you guys this because it's important for new traders to understand. The people that you see in trading chat rooms attacking other traders, criticizing other traders, saying that their way is better than somebody else's way, saying that somebody doesn't know what they're talking about or whatever it is. The people that you see in chat rooms acting like that are generally younger and they have the least amount of experience. Because again, experienced traders don't really act like that. Like, experienced traders that actually know what they're talking about and are profitable don't really act like that. Trading's such a broad thing. It's all encompassing into where there's so many different styles and strategies and systems and trading vehicles that there's a lot of ways to do it. One way isn't necessarily the right way. And again, only coming from people who are very new is where you hear that, where my way is the right way, everybody else's way is the wrong way. Generally, people with the most experience understand that trading is super broad and that somebody can do something that I can't, certainly. Like, somebody might be able to make a strategy or a system work that I can't, and vice versa. I might be able to make a strategy or system work that somebody else can't. And so again, I do call it the Dunning-Kruger effect of trading because it's absolutely true. The people who are the loudest, the most critical, and the ones that are the most attacking are usually the newest. If you saw a penny stock chart like that, you wouldn't be buying it, would you? Absolutely not. If I saw a penny stock most penny stock charts look like that, to be fair, Sam. Like, referencing this Rolex chart, most penny stock charts look like this, right? But again, it's all relative, Sam. If I put a 5-year chart up, this is what it looks like. And so again, like, I'm looking to buy the stair-step pattern, big upward move, buy the dip, look for a bounce, buy the dip. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm attacking here. And again, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. I have no idea what you should do. I don't know if this is right or wrong. I might be wildly wrong about this, and maybe prices keep dumping. But again, I've talked about this nuance before. What's going on here is this, right? If you zoom out and you look at in 2020 with stimulus checks and money printing, which is quantitative easing, is really what it's called. The prices of these luxury goods like Rolexes and watches and Louis Vuitton, the prices of those things went up dramatically during that period of time after 2020. Because again, with quantitative easing and money printing, everybody had more money, and a lot of them spent that money on luxury goods. Again, Bernard Arnault, one of the richest people in the world now. Bernard Arnault is the owner of Louis Vuitton and a bunch of other luxury brands. And so what happened there is that the prices went up dramatically. Like, you can see this chart here. This is when, you can see it's 21, right at the beginning of 22, we had this big spike because of that, right? Because of that. Now it's starting to settle down a little bit. Everything's going back to normal. And so now is when you see these big correctional pullbacks. But percentage-wise, these are big dips. These are big drops. And so for me personally, I don't mind taking the risk of buying up some stuff right here and looking for a continuation bounce in the future. Like, I don't mind that. I think that makes sense. But I'm not telling you to do it. But I don't mind it as kind of like a diversification trade almost. And if I could wear a cool watch or two, I'm all for it. Q breaking lows of the day. Q testing lows and breaking it just now. Q starting to flush. It's at 405s. Yeah, Nasdaq is falling for sure. We're down to 405.30s. You have to be particular with Rolex, though. It's only particular pieces where this works. 100%. The good rule of thumb with it is that if it has a nickname, it's usually a better investment piece. I'm not saying it's a good investment piece, but if it has a nickname, it's usually a good investment. It's a better investment piece, I mean. So like examples of this are like the Rolex Batman, the Rolex Starbucks, the Rolex Hulk, you know, the Pepsi, the root beer, you know what I mean? Like there's a bunch of Rolex nicknames that typically are better investment pieces. And so another good rule of thumb for longer term investments are stay away from gold. Like gold pieces typically don't appreciate as much. Most Rolexes are going to hold their value, you know, just because of inflation over time. Same reason the S&P 500 goes up. Most Rolexes are going to hold their value over a long period of time. But yeah, short term, they're certainly volatile. All right, guys. So again, Nasdaq's still flushing down. Part of me wants to short it, and we're gonna get ready to trade this soon too. All right, team. We're seeing Bitcoin pull back down to 45. The Q looks to be in a trend. We look to be in some trend. We'll see if it holds this though. Bitcoin's still consolidating sideways mostly for now though. All right, guys. So is it time to short this? I wonder if it's time to short the Q. It just depends on what we think is going to happen here. Let me exit out of this. Is off. Is it time to short the Nasdaq here? What do you guys think? I'm slightly green in equities, but I could be better. Yes, looking bullish. When ATF approval, they're speculating 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but we don't actually know exactly when it's going to drop. All right, guys. So we got 24 minutes. 24 minutes. Again, I'm probably not going to stay streaming too long today, in all honesty. Again, like I told you guys earlier, my wife tested positive. So kind of a scary day. Again, oil pulling back pretty big. Nvidia still at 535s. Still 535s. We'll see if it holds. Bitcoin now under 45,000. Yeah, we're into kind of some problems on. Yeah, I'm kind of lagging a little bit. Is anybody having some lags on Quant Tower? Okay, there we go. Oh, never mind. I see what I was doing wrong. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, the E-mini's been downtrending mostly here. Hey, thank you, Lily. Yeah, I think the SEC hacking news will be interesting to see how they follow it up with today. Again, a lot of people are speculating that the ETF approval is going to happen. We just don't know when. We just don't know when. I hope it gets approved too. All right, so we're in a short on the Nasdaq here. You can see the short. We're up 25 bucks. I want to see it break down a little bit more. So we're up 20 bucks. Yeah, I'm guessing I'll probably close today's stream earlier, just to be safe. All right, so we got one contract here. I like this rejection. I'm going to add to this. All right, we're basically completely flat here. Yeah. All right, so there we go. Take half off, lock in some profit here. All right, so we got a little bit of cushion here. We're slightly green now. All right, it's a nice little flush breakdown here. See if we can build up a cushion on the day. Go ahead and lock that in. So yeah, we're up about 100 bucks now. A little bit under it, but we're up $95. So not too shabby there. We'll see if we keep it up. I hear the news is from 4 to 6 p.m., but I really don't know for sure exactly when it's going to drop. I look at my P&L on Quant Tower here. I go to the Quant Tower symbol and I go to informational and I go to account performance. All right, guys, we got 18 minutes until the market opens, team. 18 minutes. All right, guys, you guys ready? Big pop up. So look at the S&P, the Q, rip it up here. I'm going to put Bitcoin up on the right side now so we can watch to see what the price action is there in the Bitcoin futures contract, and then keep the Nasdaq up here. So Bitcoin making a bounce. I might short this a little bit more here. So we're shorting the Q. Looking to play momentum. We got a cushion on the day already. We got 15 minutes, and so we'll play around with this for 15 minutes. Probably going to cut this very soon. Yeah, I don't like that. So we're going to get out of there. We're still green on the day. We might reject, so we might get a little bit of a delayed response, but it's all good. No, I gotta close the stream down early again. My wife's sick right now. So yeah, we're gonna have to close the stream down early. Yeah, I'm looking at the push. I'm trying to see some news here. All right, so here's what's going on. So one of the Fitch analysts says they no longer expect a U.S. recession in 2024 and forecast 3 rate cuts this year in line with the Fed, is what's going on. So this is the news that just dropped, causing the bullish action in markets. Going against my trade, but that's okay. But yeah, so again, Fitch analyst says they no longer expect a U.S. recession in 2024 and forecast 3 rate cuts in line with the expectations this year. We also had one of the ECB members saying, as inflation falls, the ECB continues to expect a gradual decline in wage growth this year, end quote. And again, if you want to day trade with me, a lot of people try to day trade penny stocks, or they try to go with the cash account, or they try to do all this different stuff. You almost always lose. And again, putting up the money up yourself in those markets is incredibly risky. You're probably going to lose it. In the futures market, you can essentially day trade the QQQ price action, essentially day trade the Nasdaq price action, essentially day trade the E-mini price action in futures. You can day trade the E-mini S&P 500, the E-mini Nasdaq. It's the same thing as price action wise as the SPY and Q. There's no PDT rule. You can see I could buy market, short the market, all that good stuff. No PDT rule. And just taking the challenge builds your skill. And it's the best of both worlds. It's limited risk. If you lose Top Step, you're out $50 basically. If you're good enough to pass it, you get a 90% split anyway. And so you're keeping most of your profit once you're funded anyway. And so you can, if you lose, it's not the end of the world though. And so it's a great hedge against losing in the beginning, especially for new traders. If you want to learn, just take in the challenge, build your skill. And to be fair, I think most day traders lose regardless of where they go. It's a lot cheaper to lose on Top Step. You still learn, you still grow, you still learn how to trade under pressure. And I think in that regard, it makes perfect sense. If you want to check it out, they are a sponsor. I'm biased in their favor, of course, because they pay me money as a sponsor. But if you want to check them out, great way to help support your boy here in this channel. There's the link. I made $700 today trading for 15 minutes trading oil. Is it good? Yeah, it's good. Good. Definitely not bad. Again, look at Bitcoin rise here. Bitcoin up to 45.39 thousand futures, Bitcoin futures. These are not spot Bitcoin futures, of course. These are other futures, but yeah. All right, guys. News coming from Grayscale, that's why. Yeah, Bitcoin all the way up to the 200 EMA roughly right now. Yeah, I'm looking at news right now for Grayscale. Yeah, the SEC had their Twitter account hacked yesterday by someone approving the new ETF. Meanwhile, firms Fidelity, BLK, Grayscale, and Van Eck are all slated to launch today. We'll see if they do. Here's the thing, though. Okay, right? Like, and again, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. All right. But explain to me this, all right? Somebody explain to me this, right? This is a genuine question. Again, I'm not saying, I hope it gets approved. But if it was going to get approved, why wouldn't they just say, hey, we got hacked. Yep, so we're going to announce this a little bit early. The Bitcoin ETFs are approved, right? Like, why wouldn't they just say that then, right? If you get hacked and somebody says the approval happened, wouldn't the logical next step say, hey, guys, we did get hacked. Yes, the Bitcoin ETF is approved. We didn't want to announce it this early, but we're going to go ahead and announce it now. Kind of like when you have EPS leaks and stuff like that. Hey, the approval is live. We wanted to announce it later on, but we're going to go ahead and just announce it now since we were hacked, right? I don't know if that's necessarily a good sign for approval today on the Bitcoin ETF. Because again, I hope I'm wrong. People get so mad at me when I say this. I hope I'm wrong. But like, doesn't that make sense? Like, wouldn't they just say, hey, you know, we got hacked. The Bitcoin ETF is approved. You know, we were going to announce it tomorrow, but because we got hacked, we're just going to go ahead and put it out there today. That makes sense to me. So the fact that they said specifically, again, you can see the quote that they made earlier. The SEC account was compromised and an unauthorized post was posted. The SEC has not approved the listing and trading of a spot Bitcoin exchange traded products. The SEC quoting that, or I'm quoting the SEC there. Well, they already had to admit the security failure, Sam. So regardless of whether it's approved or isn't approved, they admitted already that they were hacked, right? So they already admitted that, right? They won't announce just one because they didn't want to get one to get ahead. That's the most realistic, you know, comment there regarding that, I think. But I don't know. What was the original tweet? Yeah, I'm looking for this now. Alright, so yeah, so the original tweet was this. Alright, the original tweet was this. Today, the SEC grants approval for Bitcoin ETFs for listing on all registered national securities exchanges. The approved Bitcoin ETFs will be subject to ongoing surveillance and compliance measures to ensure continued investor protection, end quote. And it sounds legit, right? It really does. It sounds legit. But it doesn't target one specific ETF, right? So I don't know. I'm just throwing out different things here. Guys, password 1234. I hope it's good news. I don't know though. The Bank of England's Breeden says the risk environment feels particularly challenging at the moment. Sounds like someone dropped an early draft. Yeah, but in that case, wouldn't, like, again, in that situation, wouldn't they just go ahead and say, hey, somebody hacked into our account, you know, and so we're announcing this a little bit earlier than we anticipated or wanted, but yes, the Bitcoin ETF is approved. Or they just don't even correct it and they just kind of allow it to run, you know, unless again, there's a couple of theories. One of them is that they could be trying to front load. You know, I mean, I think that's possible. They could be trying to front load, but wouldn't it be too obvious in that situation if they took it back and then announced it again? I don't know. Again, I really don't know. Nah, he doesn't want. Elon doesn't want that SEC smoke, bro. He does not want that. Yeah, he doesn't want that, dude, for sure. All right, guys, we got the market open in about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. People are expecting 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. But again, we don't know. We don't know if it's going to get approved today or not. I hope it does, but... All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. Market opens up soon. We got 4 minutes. All right, 3 minutes here, team. 3 minutes. The Nasdaq's still churning up here. Still churning up on the news that we probably won't go into a recession this year. As I told people, We got a little cup and handle breakout style pattern here too. I think I'm just gonna wait until after the opening bell. We're slightly green on the day, but not by much. 2.5 minutes. All right, Bitcoin over the 200 EMA under that 45,000 level. Again, the Nasdaq still dipping down. All right, guys. Part of me wants to buy this dip on the Nasdaq too, but we got less than a minute and a half before the opening bell. I don't want to take that risk. All right, guys. Here we go. Here's the market open pretty soon. 50 seconds. All right, so we are bouncing up. Look at Bitcoin, though. Bitcoin moving up a little bit, almost to the volume-weighted average price on the futures contract here. Bitcoin is rising. All right, there's the opening bell. Nasdaq popping up at the opening bell. Just broke 16.85 thousand for the Nasdaq here. So the Nasdaq is moving. I don't think so, Sam. I think it's done, but I'm not 100% sure. You could try it. It's New Year 2024. All right, so Nasdaq popped up a little bit at the opening bell. Yeah, the ETF's not approved. It would be a much bigger move if it was. All right, so look at this huge Nasdaq pump, though. All right, so we got a nice little dip here. I'm going to buy that dip. Ah, bad entry price, bad entry price. We got a cushion on the day, though, so we'll take a swing here. I like the dip. There we go. It's taking too long. All right, so we're flat. All right, so we just made about $100 here. There we go. We're up about 170 on the day or so. Might add more. I'm getting a little lag today, though. I need to hook my Ethernet cord back up. All right, we're in. We got a nice cushion, so we can probably take a couple different contracts. So we're up nicely over 200 today. Gonna look for another little dip if we can. Didn't really catch it, but it's all right. Here's the graph so far. Man, look at the Nasdaq surge up here, team. Wow, Nasdaq pumping right now. Specifically includes Apple breaking market hour highs continuously. Nvidia skyrocketing up here, guys. So this is a lot of this is Nvidia here. I'm gonna put Nvidia on a bottom chart so y'all can see it. Bitcoin's top right. Look at Nvidia though. Nvidia over 540s right now, over 540s. Look at this pump at the opening bell for Nvidia here. So look at Nvidia rise. Wow. Nasdaq bounced. All right, so we're watching Tesla here too. Tesla opened up red, then rebounded here. Watching Amazon. Amazon's flying up. Microsoft's ripping up nicely too. Are you a robot? No. I'm a John bot. I don't know what you want me to say. Of course I'm not a robot. You think just because I don't answer you with about 600 people here that I'm a robot, bro? Come on now, dude. You know better than that. I'm watching Bitcoin, by the way. Alright, so look at Nvidia on the right side here. Look at Nvidia pump. Pretty good day trading at the opening bell. Part of me wants to buy this dip, though. We'll look for a larger pullback here. Alright, so we're going to buy this dip. We're going to try adding to this, take a little swing if we can. Like a larger swing. But we need to add to it. If not, we'll just try to... Alright, so we just made about another $100 here. I mean, we had to take the $100 off. I was going to add to it. We just didn't get the chance to. It didn't fall enough for that. But... with that said, though, here's the P&L on the day. We're up about 3. And again, this is the futures market. So I'm day trading essentially QQQ price action in the futures market. There's no PDT rule. I can day trade short, buy market, sell market, all that good stuff. No PDT rule. Top Step's the most legit funded program in the world. They've been around for over a decade. They pay out millions, fund thousands of traders every year. Great way to learn how to trade with limited risk. And once you're funded, you get a 90% split, and you get to keep your first 10K in profit and to withdraw anyway. And so it's kind of the best of both worlds. Limited risk, but you get a 90% split once you're funded. And again, the patterns are very similar to blue chips, and the Nasdaq or the S&P are very similar to blue chips, and you can trade those in futures. So here's the link. Look, there's the Nasdaq churning up here, guys, churning up. S&P flying up, Microsoft flying up, Nvidia flying up, Apple pushing up some, Amazon pushing up some. Nicely green on the day, though. I'm trying to see what it's from. Okay, Walmart, we're green. Okay. Yeah, Tesla's down some. We also have a double top here, which is making me not trust it, but we'll see. Nvidia is what was dragging the market up mostly. All right, yeah. Now we got kind of sideways action here. I don't know what I want to do with the rest of this. The E-mini is pushed up dramatically. Microsoft helping it. Tesla's starting to rebound back up, though, so Tesla's trying. It depends on what Nvidia does to me, personally. Boeing? I'm in Boeing right now. Oh, we're green on our Boeing trade. Nice. Yeah, we ended up buying Boeing a couple days ago when it was down a lot. Again, I just don't know. I don't know if I want to buy it. I've made enough short term. I just don't know if I want to buy any of this stuff right now. Finally getting a little bit of a pullback here. Here's the Nasdaq high break. Sheesh. All right, Nvidia still churning up. Apple consolidating around lows, or not around the middle range, I mean. Yeah, Boeing's ripping up. I don't know what we want to do with this, though. What am I so nervous about? The only thing I'm nervous about is my wife being sick. She tested positive yesterday, so got a fever of 102 right now. So that's the only thing I'm really nervous. Yeah, so send your good thoughts, prayers, happy vibes, whatever it is, you're my way. I appreciate it. I'll use whatever I can get right now. Tesla's starting to test lows. Nvidia started to dip down a little bit too. S&P's doing okay still though. Apple now breaking under the 200 EMA. We're scalping the E-mini though. So we're up. I don't know what it is on the E-mini. Here's my results today. So we're up over 4. 7-to-1 win-loss ratio. Hey, thank you, Franny. Thank you, Dirtbike. Thank you, Pete. Or thank you, Arlette. Thank you, It's Bad. Appreciate the love, guys. Thanks. So Microsoft's testing highs. Apple's starting to turn a little bit though. Amazon is still pushing up towards highs as well though. Yeah. I'm probably just going to close it down here, guys. Again, I'm going to go see how she's doing. I haven't checked on her in a minute. And again, I'm up a lot on the day. I think I'll just continue to take that. Nasdaq's pulling back a little bit. But again, if you want to check out one of my sponsors, another one is called Chart Prime. It's a trading view service you can use in forex, futures, stocks, anything with a symbol on trading view, really. You can use it on Bitcoin or whatever. I can't guarantee you're going to make money with it. Nobody can, of course. But again, I challenge you to back test this yourself. Right, like it can be pretty powerful if you back test this yourself. Like you can use it again on Tesla right now. You can use it on basically anything with the symbol, and it's surprisingly accurate. It's surprisingly accurate. Like, look, here's the Nasdaq today. Here's the Nasdaq today, and again, I can't guarantee you're gonna make money, like I said, but let's just back test it really quick, just so y'all can see what I mean. So again, check this out. So look, strong signal here, nice little bounce. Sell signal here, nice little downtrend. You can see it changes colors for the trend too. Strong signals are very powerful. Look at this huge bounce. This is a 5-minute chart, so this is like hours of good action. The short signal here, beautiful breakdown. Strong buy signal here, bounced a little bit. Strong sell signal there, definitely worked. Buy signal there, we got it in the last like 30 minutes. So it looks like every single one of them worked, which is genuinely impressive. Genuinely impressive. And again, I can't fake this. It's only like 40 or 50 bucks a month. And again, they are a sponsor of mine. You can use this link here as well as this promo code if you want to check it out. Great way to help support the channel here if you haven't already used it. But again, try it out with different symbols. It's very cheap. Again, for 40 or 50 bucks a month, it kind of pays for itself if you can use it correctly. And again, I can't guarantee you are, but again, I also can't fake what's on the screen right now. So it's genuinely impressive, I think. Here's the link. Check it out. Great way to help support the channel. Again, as always, I'm trading on Top Step right now. So I am trading on Top Step right now, and we had pretty good, day today on Top Step. So if you want to check it out, again, you can see the link for that in the description as well. Tomorrow we have inflation data. We'll see if this approval happens. We could potentially stream later on today around when the approval happens, guys. And so be ready for that. I appreciate the love and the words of support today, guys. Thanks so much. I genuinely appreciate it. And yeah, let's cross my fingers. Hope I don't get sick. But I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Later, team.